Okay, so this is the second video on the 3 most important fingerpicking styles. And this one is the second because it's a little harder than the first one that I went over, but not as hard as the last one. And this one is called Arpeggiation, and creates a very open sound. So let's get started learning it. Okay, so just like for every style of fingerpicking, you're going to want to start out with your chord up here. And actually for this song, I'm going to be using a capo on the 3rd fret, or capo, or however you want to pronounce it. For this song, I am playing Your Song, which is originally by Elton John, and the version that I'm playing is the Ellie Goulding version, but I think it still translates pretty well back to the Elton John version. And so I'm going to be playing the chords from that to give you an idea of how to play this style. So the first chord that it starts out with is an E minor, and that's what I will be showing you this style of fingerpicking on. So an E minor, play it. It's just these two. Okay? And so just like the last one, the last type of fingerpicking, you want to use your thumb on the lowest bass note that you have, in which case it's our 2nd string. And then you want to have 4 notes in this style. So you would want another really important note to hopefully be your 2nd one. So your index finger will go on your 3rd string, where your ring finger is holding down that note. And then to make it easy, your middle finger would go on the next consecutive string, and your ring finger would play the next consecutive string. And this is a pretty easy style to get down. All you have to do is start with your lowest note and roll up to the top. So it sounds a little something like this. So when you play it, you're pushing down with your thumb on the string, and you're pulling up with the other 3 fingers. Right? Okay. So once you do this a little faster and you keep playing, repeating the pattern, it starts to sound pretty melodic. Something like this. This is used a lot in ballads, but also just in other songs and acoustic covers. Elton John does a lot of work with arpeggiation, this kind of open, rolling, flowing style of playing. And so it's pretty easy with the E minor chord. You just play those notes together. It gets a little more tricky with the G chord. For this song in specific, you're going to want to keep your index finger, middle finger, and ring finger on the same 3 strings the whole time, except when you play the D chord, because that plays different notes. But whether you're playing E minor, G, or C, or A minor, you're going to want to keep those 3 where they are, here. One thing that is going to move is your thumb. It's always going to want to hit your bass note, so when you make this G chord, it's not going to be on the 2nd string, because the 1st string is your actual bass note. So it's the G string with your thumb on the bass note, and these 3 where you had them for the E minor chord is going to sound a little like this. Well, not that last note, that was a little high. It's supposed to be this. And then a little bit of the same thing with C. You can tell it spans across the 4 middle strings of the guitar, so you're going to want to play those again just like you did for E minor, but it's obviously going to create a different sound because you're playing a different chord. And then once you get to D, things are going to change up a little bit, because D is only those 4 top strings. And so you're just going to move everything down 1. So Your thumb is on that lowest note, which is your 3rd string, if you're counting from the lowest note. And then follow your fingers in consecutive order after that. So you're taking up the 4 highest strings. And it would sound a little something like this. And once you get the chord progression for that song, you just continue that pattern throughout the whole thing, and it sounds pretty much exactly like the original. And that's it for arpeggiation.